Hmm. Good morning, Midnight Coders, and welcome back to another old school RuneScape RuneHero development video. That's a mouthful of a title. Should probably shorten that up. Yeah, welcome to old school RuneScapes. No, welcome to RuneHero. There we go. Development, which is an old school RuneScape fan-made bot. It is a bot that I've been working on for the past couple of years, and it is a sort of passion project of mine that I've been developing over the past since 2022, I believe. It is. I'm a big RuneScape nerd, and the fact that it is a video game that is also written in my favorite language, Java. I had a weird obsession with it as a child. And so now as an adult with software engineering under my belt and a surprisingly a lot of free time, I decided to write a bot based around my favorite game. So where we were yesterday, if you were watching the stream, we were trying to finish up smithing or blacksmithing. So we ended it with the ability to click the anvil, the smith button, and we could choose the bar we wanted, and then we were presented with the option of the metal objects or metal items that we were able to create. So in today's video, we are going to wrap that up. I had a little hiccup yesterday where I had to rethink my design and how I was passing information around, and so what I came up with is I am going to stick the smithable metal, a pipe, and then I'm going to stick the smithable item, so that way, for example, it would say rune axe. That way, when I go to handle the button on the other end, or sorry, when I go to handle the select menu on the other end, I can then just say that, okay, give me the value, split it where the pipe is, and then I know that these are my two separate items that I need. So that way I can fill out the level requirements and do all the business logic that we need to ensure that the action goes off without a flaw. Oh. Goodness, I do apologize. It's early morning and I haven't had enough coffee. So if you're like me and yawning away, I advise you to fill up that cup of coffee. And of course, let's dive on in. So, I guess we'll start out with a little side view and kind of looking at where we left off. So, where we left off, we could click on the smith and we could select an item. I can't click on any of these right now because RuneHero is turned off, and I can't turn it back on because there's an error in the code that we're going to fix today. But this would allow me to select an item that I want to build or that I want to craft. Smith, oh my god. And yeah, that was where we left it off yesterday. So today, we are going to turn on this, put me down here. Maybe, kinda. There we go, down here. Alright, so we want to pass in let's make this. Let's make this so you can actually see it, guys. Alright, so in here where I'm passing the current value of just the item name. Oh my god. I'm really sorry for the yawning, people. I clearly got to hammer this coffee into me. Alright, so right now we're just passing in the item name, which is good, but it's only the smithable item. So once we come into our smithing activity, it becomes kind of a headache to work out the logic that needs to be done because I need two types of bars, which is where this comes in. So we're going to take the value and we're going to split it where the pipe is. My goodness. Okay, I need to stop yawning. Alright, so we will start out here by building up this little string. So I'm just going to delete this. We're going to put in a string and I'm just going to say formatted. And we're going to pass in that because this seems to know exactly what I'm looking for. So let's go with percent this. No, not that. Lowercase. Pipe, another percent string. So that should fill us out with what we need. And that will be the value that gets passed in. So now I can get rid of these little comments. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Where did I... What am I missing? Am I missing another? Oh, right, because we're inside of that. Okay, yeah, okay. This is why I normally break these out so that they kind of stand out more. Sometimes those are hard to see, so it's kind of like curly braces to me where I throw them on a new line. So that's like, here's the open, here's the close. Yeah, those are just conventions that you do not have to follow. Those are just conventions that I do. Because again, I find that makes readability a little bit easier. All right, so Okay, so now we need to handle this. So now we go into the smithing activity, and here's where we're going to try to build out some stuff. So very difficult to code when I have this little critter on my lap. Yes, you. This guy wants to be on my lap while I code, and the problem with that is that he likes to get in between me and the desk. So where I like to be right here up in with my desk, he pushes me away. Ain't that right, Arrows? Yeah, that's right, baby boy. You're going on the floor. Yeah, go curl up with your brother. He's a lazy boy. All right. So. I'm just going to call this data. I don't necessarily need to, but we're going to. There we go. Oh. Goodness, I can't stop yawning. Oh my god. All right. So, now that we have this, I want to find a smithable metals based off of this, and a smithable item based off of that. So now we're going to say var where am I at? Where the hell else am I using this metals? Okay. Okay. So this is the metal, and this technically is the item that I selected. Okay. Okay. So yeah, that's no longer a thing. Metals are no longer a thing. Okay, so now down here, metal, and this is where I need to get level, wired, or item. Yeah, that about looks like what I want to do. Okay, so now I need to make this new method inside of the smithable metals. But for the smithable metals, I need to upgrade this list, because this list is no longer going to consist of this. It's now going to be a map. And this why I'm using a map is because I want to be able to say that this is the item, this is the level requirement. So in here, we need to do slight little changes. So we're going to make a final map, smithable this, and we're just going to call it an integer, which is going to be I'm just going to call that smithable item data. For now. And for now, I'm just going to duplicate this. Why that did twice. Oh, whoops, that's why. So for now, I'm just going to do this. Really? I only want this. There we go. That's fine enough for now. So now if I come up here and I wanted to say map of I feel like I should do a map of entities. I feel like that'll be clearer. Um, okay, so this is going to require a little bit of work. So I'm going to do just a little bit of hocus pocus here for a second. I'm going to line up all of these. I'm going to come over here. This. Put you in there. Do this, do that. Put last to 1. And this is going to be map dot entry. Get rid of that guy. Get rid of that guy. So now what I need to do is go find all of the level requirements, but okay. Copy this. This is just easier right now. There. Okay. So now I can get rid of this guy. And I can get rid of that guy. And I can go deal with the aftermath in the other classes. Okay. So now this has a key value pair, and I will fill out that data later. I'm not going to bore you guys with me reading the RuneScape wiki for levels. That'll be something that I'll do that off camera. I'm sure nobody's going to be upset with me doing that stupid thing off camera. All right, so we got going on here. All right. So now, if I come back into the smithing activity, I still have this method that I have not created. So I'm going to create this inside of smithable metals. I don't know why it's coming off as a long. This is going to be an integer. Okay. There we go. That's going to return the ID of it. So we're just going to get from the map this smithable item, and it's going to return us the value. Now that's going to be our level requirement. So if we are less than the level requirement, you can't do it. Otherwise, we are going to remove the bar and the amount. Yeah. Yep. So we're going to remove the amount, come down, add up some experience. We're going to handle a level up if that happens, which I feel like I should be. I feel like I should be moving this out into its own like interface handled for this, and just simply like pass in what the skill. I don't know, because this is reused in every skill. I feel like there's a way to. We're gonna have to review my own code and do like a thing where we just like yeah. Okay, so what I'm looking to add is the item. So here is this. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for the item dot boost amount of bars. Oh, okay, so okay, I don't need you. I don't need you. I do need you. Okay, so this needs to be ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay. So this is now going to be another map. Another map dot entry of item ID dot bronze axe and 1. Okay, which is going to mean that this is actually this is an integer. This is going to be a map of this and a map. Okay, so I have a map of maps. Map of maps is so that I can say that this item, this bronze axe, is going to create a bronze axe at a requirement of level 1. Okay, hold on, let me. No, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. Shoot. Okay, I can't do that map of maps. Um, and like my only other option that I don't like Okay. Okay. So this should return me an item based off of the. Right. So now if I come up here, I should be able to say that I want, or if I come in here, I should be able to say get. Oh my God! I already threw you off of me. Go lay down with your brother. What am I doing? So yeah, get item for produced. Um. Da, 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 da. Oh, I don't want to get the low requirement. This one is item dot produce demand. There we go. Okay, so now we attempt to see if we did not add an item of type item and ID. I don't know why that formatted so poorly. So okay, so if the backpack was not successful in adding this, we print out an error that there was an error, or we print out a thing that there was an error. Otherwise, we go to update the record, and from there, we print out a message saying that it was updated, and we reload the player's region. I believe that is what I am looking to do. Okay, let me just read this one more time. Let me just read this over one more time. So we start up doing this. Set the object, initialize the skill, the value, we split the value, we get the metal and the item. We're also grabbing the owner, the hero, and their backpack. So first off, if the hero's level is less than the required level, we tell them that it's a skill issue. If we can't remove the bar, we throw a conniption fit error. Otherwise, if we attempt to add the experience, and if it results in a level up, we throw them a private message saying, "Yo, you leveled up. Congrats. Good job. Way to waste time." Otherwise, we come down and it is a backpack add item. If we're unable to add the item, we throw an error. Otherwise, we update the record and reload. Okay. So that seems like it's going to work. The only thing I have to do now is finish up inside of here. So this is where it gets funky, and this is where I'm probably going to go quiet for a minute. And I really don't like the fact that I'm about to go quiet. Oh god, oh god, oh god, no, 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 Control Z, Control Z. Manual alignments, okay. So take this, do this, copy you, come down. Nope. Paste you in there. Sure, I'll just worry about those afterward. Alright, so you go there. You go there. You go there. You go there. And we're all lined up. Okay, so the level up area, I'll do that outside of here. But now this part here is where it gets sort of funky, and I'm probably going to go quiet because this is where I need to type out the data for all of the items that are going to get created. So bear with me. I do apologize for the impending silence. Ah, I don't actually have bronze arrow tips. I don't have a dummy item either. Okay, cool. So you're just going to be -1 for now. So I have to go in and add a new item at some point as well. It's kind of fun. I like that this is attempting to be useful. So IntelliJ's IntelliSense is pretty good. Picked up that I was adding all those bronze. Now it's picking up that I'm adding an iron, so that's kind of cool too. That one's going to become a negative. So maybe this won't be as painful as I had. Maybe this won't be as painful as I thought. Again, I really apologize for all this silence, guys. Just bear with me. I do like that IntelliJ follows patterns. There. Okay. And shit. Did I do that for everyone? Except for the first one. Good job! So, that was supposed to be the level requirement. Yeah. There. Fix that one. Now you just gotta do that for the rest of these. There we go. Don't make stupid mistakes, people. Okay, and then the final one. There. Okay, so that's all lined up, so now I can make items. I'll get the level requirements added in at a later time, but for now, I should be able to create my items minus the arrow tips, because I have to add those in later. So if all is well... Okay, let me... Oop, what am I missing here? Yikes. What? Now I'm confused. Why is this not... Smithable metals. Where the hell was I? So this gets me the smithable bar. Yeah. And why is that missing now? That's this one here, which is getting the smithable metals, yeah. Okay, so this is my map of smithable item data. Okay, so I don't have a getter for that. Yeah, I know what it is. So get smithable item data dot key set. And then for each item, do this. Add this. Okay, so there we go. So that satisfies that. Okay. So now if I pop into my services, can I build a project? Clean it. See if I can build it. And it built. Okay. So now if I run the project, run the bot. Cool. Cool. Let's see what things work and what don't. So we say Smith, and it tells us that we can pick a bronze bar because we only have bronze bars. We choose bronze, tells us to pick an item. We can come through and see all of our items here. So if I wanted to say bronze bolt, or even a bronze axe, I'm going to say bronze bolts. I don't think the select menu was put in the listener. So let's go into our listener, select menu listener, and we do not. There. So now let's stop the project. Run a clean build. Okay, turn the project back on. Turn the bot back on. We'll try this again. So I want to smith. I want to smith bronze. I want to make some bronze pickaxe. Sure. Are these random each time? Interesting. Bronze bolts. We had an issue. No enum of type this. Oops. Jeepers creepers. Okay, so that needs to be Fiddlesticks. Okay, so not you. Smithing activity. Smithable items, so that would be that. Okay. So back into wherever through that bit. It was here because value, it cannot find it here. So we're going to say value split, and we're going to tell you that we want you to take this one, and that should work. So let's do a painful reboot again. I wish I could just reboot the project like normal. Turn the project back on, turn the bot back on. Try the smithable thing again. I want to make bronze bolts. And it looks like it worked. So now if I go back to my hero and my backpack, cannot build more than 25 embed fields. Oh, it didn't. Cool. So now we got to go into our database. Pop into our backpack. Backpack. Yeah, okay, no, I shouldn't do that. All right. I am... Which hero is me? Uh-oh. I gotta tamper with the scaling because I can't read that. There we go. All right. Yeah, it did. So where it was supposed to add... It's funny. It actually continued to add 10 of these rather than... Yeah, okay. So from here through here... Oh, I can't? No way. Okay, so this is fun. This is not fun. So we got to go into the editor, the items, scroll down, and we need to get rid of most of these bronze bolts. Because that is what was supposed to happen. And I was supposed to then be able to click on my backpack and see that I have 10 bronze bolts, not 10 stacks of 10. Wow, that was a mess. That was a mess up. So now we get to figure out where that mess up went into effect. So that would be in the smithing activities. We're coming down. We're scrolling down. We're scrolling down. We're adding the item. And I feel like I am... Yeah, I feel like I should have just add item. Oh no, because that does that, and then it calls add item. And then we see if we have the item, and then we adding item to existing. Okay. So what did I have print out? So I had added some blacksmith experience. Okay. So I added blacksmith XP. I've updated the hero record. Adding item this, adding stackable item. So that was this. And this must be where it's doing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so this is where my logic is broken. If the item is not stackable, because it printed out that it was adding stackable, which technically speaking, the bolts are stackable, so this should not have been a thing. Why is 8? I need to set up an item definition to pull that. Oh, God. Uh-oh. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay. Okay, so this needs to change. So I've got a bunch of different types of items which extend item, but nothing that straight up states whether or not an item is or is not stackable. So where the hell does I add for that? So when I try to add the item and it ultimately comes down here, it's assuming that all items are not stackable. So here it tried to add So I need to... Shoot. Okay, so we need to come up with a way to find out if an item is in fact... Shoot. I don't even think I have that. Item definitions. Yeah, like I should have a thing in here that states whether or not this is stackable. Okay, so we're gonna come into item, and we're gonna add a new parameter. I'm gonna come in here and set that, so now I can, when I come in here, I can simply just say item dot is stackable. What are you talking about? Getter and setter. Oh wow, get stackable. Jeepers. That's a stupid name for that for a boolean. Is. Anyway, so now we have a way to see if the item itself is stackable. Given that that's only used the one time, I'm just going to stick that in there and say whatever. So now if the item is stackable, it's going to go ahead and handle and do its thing. If it's not stackable, sorry, it's going to add in individual items. If it is, however, stackable, how did I add more then? That's how. I am aware that I have the screen up, but the screen itself is only this big, so like you can still see where I'm looking at code. I just sort of more or less have the line numbers hidden. Okay, so when we're adding an item, else if we're adding an item, if they have the item. Okay, so let's stop all this again. And let's come back into here. And I wish... Yeah, that's not gonna work. Fuck, I wish that worked. Alright, so while this builds, I'll be right back. I'm gonna top up my coffee. Alright, so that looks like it built. Now we turn on the hero, we turn on the bot. And backpack. I have one more bronze bar. So let's go Smith, bronze. This time let's make more bolts because those are stackable. Oh. My mistake. My mistake. How did I do that? So, because this is an object and not a, it's not getting instanced. So, I'm going to say that by default, this is Boolean false. So now we stop the bot. Try to rerun this again. Clean, build. I really hate this. And it only seems like it's ever this project. And like, even if I go into here and it specifically says it wants to build the project beforehand. Yeah, it still doesn't actually build, and it frustrates me. So if I come in here and look, I want to do RuneHero. I want to do build and run. But it doesn't like to run. Or it doesn't like to build. Come on now, run. If I run the bot in debug mode, can I hot swap? Will that work? I don't know. But let's make more bolts and find out. Okay, so that looks like it did up some more bolts. Updated the record. So let's jump back to my hero. Curious for my skills. I do have some blacksmithing experience. That is good to see. So let's go explore. No, that's not what I want to do. Backpack. So it does look like it added more. Son of a Gilligan. Okay. Okay. We're almost there. What is wrong now? So let's check this out. Adding stackable item. Why did I have that wording wrong? Okay, so there's that. And now I need to... Oh, God. It still is doing this because the get stackable is false by default. And what I'm not doing, which I'm gonna have to do, and I don't know how boring that's gonna be, but it's gonna be pretty boring. I have to go into the definitions and do a thing where I add in true. I don't know if this is actually going to read from this file or if it reads from my web, like the database. I forget. I'm just gonna go ahead and try it, which means no, it's not gonna work. No, it's not gonna work. All right, so I need to come up with a few other systems. I need to sort of brainstorm and come up with ideas. So I need to add this to everything on here, but what do I have in here that's stackable right now? I think the only things stackable I have right now are bolts and arrow tips, but I don't even have arrow tips. So thus, I think the only thing that I have that's actually yeah, I think the only thing that I have that is actually of any use or value here for stackable items is bolts. Yeah. Okay, so I am going to actually stop the stream here for now. So there's a few different designs that I need to think through, and I don't exactly have the full time right now to do it. Because I need to add a whole bunch of these little comments or lines into here for every bolt, which isn't many, thankfully. However, I then need to go through and run some tests to see where it is that I'm using this at. I believe it is strictly I want to say it's strictly the database, but if it is the database, then I have my hero dashboard that I got to fire up as well, which honestly would just make it easier for me. Haven't seen it, I don't think, but my dashboard is a fairly neat little thing here. Just kind of gives an idea of what RuneHero is. There is a small leaderboard with myself and Hayden. I can log in. No. There we go. Logged in. And I can view the different shops, all of my game items, my NPCs, things of that nature. So I'll be able to come in here and do some editing. Need to update this so that I can actually add in a stackable option, which will make it easier for me to pump these out, and then I can save the database and update it. I need to add more shops, a few more different NPCs. Get game items. Once I pump these out, I can export them to a file, because again, I'm not 100% sure. I can't fully remember if oh yeah, this is the high score, by the way, guys. So like if I have a leaderboard here, so like you can click on leaderboard and see who's in the top, and then you can click on each individual person and see a little bit of information about them. Yeah, there's some fun things that I have in here that I'm looking to expand upon, but I believe I'm going to cut the I'm going to stop the stream now, and I'm going to dig into this work a little bit more throughout the day and throughout the week, just a little low-key throughout the week. Yeah. However, before you go, I have a podcast where I talk with other developers about some real dev talk. We sit around, we sip coffee, we hang out, we chat, and we interview other developers. I have a co-host for this. His name is Hayden. We have one podcast under our belt last week. We plan on doing them every Sunday night. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications so you can be notified when we go live with our podcast. Be notified when I go live on the weekends for project development. And also, you can be notified when I upload educational videos about Java tips, tricks, and things that you can do with Spring. As always, keep your curiosity open, your skills sharp, and that coffee cup full. I'll catch you in the next one.